Hi, I'm Leela Radney. I'm here today to answer the age-old question, why are island animals so weird? You've probably seen some pretty weird examples just watching documentaries or being live, but evolution works differently on islands than it does on the mainland. There are small islands in the middle of the ocean, which are the main islands we'll be talking about today. Obviously, larger islands closer to the mainland will mimic the mainland and have some of its species and be much easier to migrate to. Small islands in the middle of the ocean are really hard to migrate to, and they're super isolated. And since the migration rate to these islands is slow, like think hundreds of thousands of years slow, there's plenty of time for animals to evolve and adapt to their environments before new animals migrate to it. Which means there's a lot of coevolution that happens between island plants and animals, which is why, Hawaiian birds sometimes have really weird curved beaks, and Hawaiian flowers sometimes have really interesting petal shapes. And that's because they've co-evolved so that the birds are best able to reach the pollen inside the flower, and the flower is specifically designed for the birds. This is one of the many niches available. Niches are like the different areas an animal can inhabit, different food supply, shelter, preferred habitat, nesting habit, you name it. A niche is essentially where an animal fits ecologically. And animals will speciate on islands to best fit into a variety of niches. Speciation scientifically is the process by which two animals diverge from one singular species. Remember the Galapagos finches? Prime example of speciation, but they used it to teach natural selection. That's because natural selection is one of the modes by which evolution and speciation occurs. They were selected for the different niches that they occupied. Natural selection was the first of three evolutionary forces. The second is migration, but island population, not a lot happening. The third evolutionary force is genetic drift. Genetic drift is a bit different from the other factors. Genetic drift doesn't move in a singular direction. It doesn't really do anything. Genetic drift is the randomness factor of life. It's when random alleles become super popular or aren't popular at all, or different phenotypes die out just because of natural factors. It's essentially just the randomness of living. And it's increasingly important on small, isolated populations like, an island population. Because if you have a really large population of, let's say, a bird, and then like 4 of them die, that doesn't really change anything. But if you have 50 birds on an island, and only 4 of them are blue and 2 of the bluebirds die, that's a change in allele frequency that's going to impact every subsequent generation and cause a huge impact on the evolutionary future of the species. Islands interact with pre-existing evolutionary forces and provide a safe habitat for evolution to occur in lots of interesting ways. Thanks for watching!